Okay, so here we are for another Earthworm podcast, and we are in Italy today, and we are actually in the Gran Paradiso National Park, and we're staying at a wonderful Agriturismo with our host, Letizia, and she is fantastic. Letizia is Italian, and she speaks French. I'm Australian, and I don't speak Italian or French very well, so we've got Julien here, who's going to help us with the translation. So it's a three-way discussion. So we have Letizia, and we have Julien from TFT. How are you going, Julien?
I'm going well. I've been expecting this for a long time, so I'm really happy to be interviewing Letizia.
Yeah, so we can ask Letizia, how's she going?
Comment vas-tu?
Ah, très bien. Merci.
She's saying very well. Thank you very much.
Okay, we've got to work out our way here of doing the interview, passing it backwards and forwards. But anyway, so here we are, and this is Letizia's Agriturismo. So perhaps if Letizia could just give us a little bit of background to the Agriturismo. When it was set up, how it was set up, what was her idea, what was her vision for what she's doing here, and how it's all going.
Alors, la première question, c'est qu'on voudrait savoir, ici c'est ton agritourisme, et savoir en fait qu'est-ce qui a mené à la création de cet agritourisme, comment ça s'est passé et pourquoi.
Alors, moi j'arrive d'une famille que mon grand-père, mon papa, et aussi avant, il était des agriculteurs. Mon papa faisait le garde-chasse et l'agriculture. Et moi, j'ai toujours travaillé avec mon papa et j'ai aimé cette vie. Après, j'ai continué à faire ça parce que je le sens dans le cœur, c'est ce que j'aime faire.
So Letizia is saying that she comes from a family of farmers, and her father was a farmer, but also a ranger in the national park here. And so it's something she's always seen her family do and love to do, and it's really in her heart to be farming and take care of the land.
And so Letizia and her family have been here in the region for a very long time?
Oui, toujours ici.
Yeah, since forever.
Always here. And I know that the mountains are very important to Letizia. She does a lot of walking in the mountains, and yesterday she went up for a special festival. Could she tell us a little bit about what she did yesterday with the festival and her love for the mountains as well?
Oui. Le 29 de juin, c'est Saint-Pierre. Et c'est la fête des personnes qui montent à l'alpage. Et alors, toutes les années, on se rassemble, les familles, avec les amis, et on fait une petite fête très simple dans l'alpage de famille. Et ça comporte de manger ensemble, tous ensemble. Et à la fin, comme doux, on prend la crème de nos laits, on le monte et on mange ça comme dessert. Parce que en patois, dans ma langue, c'est la fête de la crème. La crème, c'est la crème. Et c'est toujours été comme ça. Mes grands-pères, mon papa, et aussi maintenant, c'est moi.
It's a particular day. It's called the day of Saint-Pierre, Saint Peter. So it's the 29th of June. And so every year, the family is going to what is called the alpage. So it's the pasture up in the mountains that belongs to the family. And then so all the cousins and parents, grandparents, kids, all are going up to spend the day together and celebrate and share stories. And also they bring the cream make the cream and bring the cream to eat together. And it's always been like this, and it's really an important tradition. So it's really a celebration of going up there with being with your animals up in the pasture, mountain pasture.
I think we can say without too many doubts that Letizia is a fantastic host, and we've had beautiful food, a lot of caring. Letizia never stops. She's always working very hard, and we're always being provided for with wonderful cakes and biscuits and magnificent salads, and always tea and coffee. What's Letizia's vision? What's her passion for this? You know, she has people coming from all around the world to her place. This is her place. What's her passion for this? And, you know, she has the farm. We'll come to the farm in a minute, but she has this wonderful passion, it seems to me, for helping people and for caring for people. Could she talk to me a little bit about that?
Alors, pour moi, c'est ce qui m'ont enseigné mes parents. Mes parents, ils m'ont enseigné à vivre ma vie, à chercher les choses qu'on aime faire et à les faire toujours avec un beau sourire. Si on n'aime pas faire ça, on change. Mais si on aime, c'est juste d'offrir ton sourire aux gens qui sont ici. Et le respect surtout, c'est la première chose. Et moi, j'aime beaucoup mon travail. Je l'ai choisi de faire, l'agriturismo, d'accueillir les personnes 10 années passées. Si maintenant je le dois rechoisir, je le referai de nouveau, parce que j'aime mon travail beaucoup. Et je l'ai passé à mes fils. J'ai dit, moi j'ai trois fils. S'il aime rester là, c'est juste et je serai contente. Mais seulement s'il aime rester là. C'est pas obligé à aucun. Toutes les personnes, ils doivent choisir avec le cœur ce qu'ils aiment faire. Et après, le faire au mieux.
Letizia is saying how it's her parents who really told her to always do the things you love and with great care for the other and in whatever you're doing. So for her, she 10 years ago she decided she wanted to start this Agriturismo, and that's what she wanted to do. That's what her heart was saying, and so since then she has done it with the best love and care she could do. And that's something really important for her. And that's something she also told her sons, her 3 sons. And of course she would, in a way, she would really like them to be here and also take care of the farm and the Agriturismo. But what's more important for her is that they find what they love to do. And it might be elsewhere. And that they do it with great care and love and passion. And that's what matters the most.
Okay, so here we are again in the beautiful Gran Paradiso National Park, and we're with Letizia, our host at the Agriturismo Plan de la Tour. Letizia has just been such a wonderful host with us, and one of the highlights, I think, for everyone every breakfast is the magnificent products from Letizia's farm. The beautiful yogurt, the fantastic cakes with the eggs, and the magnificent butter. I'd be interested to hear, we have a theory on that, I know, that we think that the food that Letizia presents to us is made with such love. The cakes and everything else is made with such love. They taste delicious. But there's another aspect of that the milk that goes into the butter and the milk that goes into the yogurt is also produced with such love and care for the animals. And we've seen the way the animals are cared for. Perhaps Letizia can share us her feelings for the farm and her approach to the farming, because we know, you've told me, Julien, that Letizia's approach to the farm is quite different it's a very traditional artisanal approach, as opposed to the more, modern day methods of farming and things like this. Could Letizia share with us a little bit her philosophy of the way she brings love to the animals that then comes to us in the magnificent food that she shares with us?
Je retourne à la question d'avant. Alors, c'est aimer le travail et le respect. Le respect vers les personnes, le respect vers la nature, le respect vers les animaux. On ne doit pas être nous qui use les animaux, non. C'est un vivre ensemble, c'est un respecter ensemble. Si à mes poules, je vais cueillir les feuilles, des herbes pour les donner à manger, elles donnent de bons œufs. Pour mes vaches, je les porte au pâturage où il y a de bonnes herbes, elles me donnent de bons laits. Et ils mangent seulement des choses naturelles. Moi, je suis cette philosophie ici. Pour les animaux, pour mon jardin aussi. Mon jardin, toutes les plantes ont besoin de leur espace, moi, je dis à mes fils, quand ils viennent avec moi, tu dois penser d'être cette petite plante. Qu'est-ce que tu as besoin de cette plante? Alors, tu vas donner à cette plante de l'eau, voilà, et tu la dois soigner. La même chose pour les animaux. La même chose pour les personnes qui viennent là. Ça vient du cœur, ça. Et j'espère de le passer à mes fils, à toutes les personnes qui viennent là. parce que je suis une, mais on peut passer aux gens ce qui ont dans le cœur, que les gens le comprennent, pour apprendre à vivre comme ça. Pour moi, c'est important.
So she said she's coming back to a previous answer, and the fact that what's very important to her is respect. So respect for the animals, respect for the people, and respect for the job that you're doing. She always tells her sons that every person, every animal in the farm should be cared for and respected. For example, she says the chickens. She always makes sure she finds herbs from around the farm that are good for the chickens, because then they'll give you very good eggs. She makes sure the cows are eating in pasture with good grass, and in winter giving them good grass, because they'll give you good milk. And for us, that's a simple idea of respecting and giving the animals what they need. And it's the same thing with a garden. They have a garden here. She tells her son, just think like if you are a plant, what do you need? Do you need water now? Do you need something else? And just try and feel what these plants need. And it's the same with people. So it's exactly the same thing. What do people need? And what sort of care? And for her, it's coming, at the end of the day, it's coming from the heart. So all these things, all what she's learning and trying to transmit, it's act from the heart and that place. And she hopes that her sons can have that in them, and all the people here at some levels, that she can transmit this. That's what really matters. It's doing things from the heart and respecting them.
Letizia's mentioned her sons in almost every answer. And I think that's very interesting. They're obviously very important. Her sons are very important to her. What does she feel the future holds for the younger people here? Is there a future on the farm? Things are changing, the economy's under pressure. Is it difficult to be a farmer here? I mean, her family's always been here. I'm sure it always will be here. She's got the Agriturismo. What's the future for her sons in the valley here? The economies are struggling in some ways. It's difficult to find work. How's it going for her family and her sons? Does she feel there's a bright future for the lads? What does she feel the future holds?
Alors, comme j'ai dit, j'aimerais que mes fils, ils aiment aussi le travail que je suis en train de le faire. Mais ce n'est pas obligatoire. Je lui fais vedere tout. Mais s'il n'aime pas ça, c'est mieux de trouver un autre travail. L'agriculture, tu le peux faire seulement avec ton cœur, comme je le fais moi. J'espère que s'il n'est pas mon fils, aussi d'autres gens qu'ils peuvent voir et peuvent goûter, peuvent sentir le propre parfum et peuvent aimer cette vie. Moi, je mets mon cœur pour passer ma passion et tout. C'est pas facile parce que dans ce moment, on se gagne très peu en faisant cette agriculture ici, en faisant cette chose ici. Mais je peux pas faire différent. Je pourrais pas faire différent que ça. Je sais que je suis en train de faire la chose juste et je continuerai comme ça.
Letizia is saying that she only wants her son to follow what they love to do. So she ideally, yes, she would love them to stay here, to be here, to work in the farm, and she's trying her best to show them what it's about, and through her action and her love for farming and this place. But it's difficult here. The farm is not making much money. The choice she's making of farming doesn't make much money, but she hopes that others will be touched and feel and taste the difference of doing farming in this way and taste it in the products, like we said before. For her, she can't do otherwise. That's what it is, because she knows that's the right thing to do. She knows that's the right way. She can't think otherwise, and just hope people will see that and appreciate it, and despite it being difficult, carry on doing it.
So Letizia, we get a strong vibe of love coming off Letizia. And for me, it's a very deep thing. She's always got a smile for us. She never stops working. She's always trying to make sure that we, as her guests, get the best. She's from a very impressive place here. We're surrounded by a mountain. It's absolutely magnificent. They've put a lot of hard work into this beautiful Agriturismo. I imagine, and I think it comes across in Letizia's answers already, she's actually quite a very spiritual person. She's been up to the mountain yesterday for the Saint Pierre and the ceremony. Is this a very important thing for her? She obviously operates from a fundamental set of beliefs that drive the way she farms. She could be pumping pesticides on this farm and doing all sorts of things and probably making more money. But she seems to have a very strong perception of what's right and what she wants to do. And I wonder, I guess there's the family, the long history of the family that underpins that. If she could just sort of help us understand where that comes from, that depth of love and feeling that she brings to it. She probably feels it's an odd question because it's who she is. Mm-hmm. But I'd just be interested to hear what she has got to say about that.
À la base, c'est ma religion. À la base, c'est ma force. Je prends ma force là. Ma religion, qui c'est la religion chrétienne. Et mes parents, ils m'ont dit tout de ma religion. Ils ont enseigné la religion. Et pour moi, c'était normal. Et je disais, mais ce sont des choses normales à faire. La première chose, disait, tu vas aimer ton Dieu, ok, c'est bien. Tu vas aimer les autres comme toi. Oh, mais c'est normal, non? Et maintenant, non, il y a déjà un peu de temps que je dis non, c'était pas normal pour toutes les personnes. Parce que toutes les personnes ne font pas ça. Ils ne pensent pas ça. Et ça, c'est fondamental. Et nous avons les commandements, les 10 commandements qu'ils disent la vie que tu dois choisir, la rue que tu dois faire. Et c'est important, ça. Et moi, je suis ça, et je suis contente. Je sens dans mon cœur ce qui c'est juste comme ça. Et ce sont des choses bonnes. Et ce sont des choses très belles pour le pays, pour le monde entier. Et j'espère qu'ils vont... le monde entier, il va retourner un peu à la religion. Avant, c'était plus. Il y avait plus de monde. Maintenant, un peu moins. Moi, je pense que c'est l'argent. Maintenant, tout le monde reste toujours un peu mieux. Et il pense d'être fort. Il pense d'être... Il n'a pas besoin d'aucun. Et il a perdu l'humilité. Et ça va pas.
She says she's a very, very religious person, and it came from her parents that told her about religion from very young age. And for her, all the things that were said were just, I know, I feel it's right. It's all these things, love the other, of course, love the other, and love your God, and love each other, of course. So it was just, for her, it just was a matter of fact. All these things made sense to her.
It was a very natural thing.
It was a very natural thing, very, very natural thing. She feels that for a lot of people that's not the case. It's not natural like this. And a lot of people, unfortunately, are moving away from those beliefs, moving away from religion, but in general, moving too close to money and be attracted by money and power, and that they feel they don't need those things, they don't need spirituality. And she feels that that's a mistake. And people have lost a sense of humility. And she said, that's not good, that's not working.
The last question I'd like to ask Letizia is, life intervenes. Life presents us with challenges. And it's very clear that she is living her life according to a fundamental set of beliefs and values. But storms come, difficulties are presented to the family from outside, from within. There's a lot of challenges in life. And it's very difficult to stay true to the course that you set yourself. Your heart might be telling you one thing, but the world is beating you to do something else, forcing you or trying to force you. There's tough times in life. And what I'm interested in is, it seems to me Letizia really lives her life according to these fundamental beliefs, but I don't doubt that she gets challenged by the circumstances in which she lives. It's normal. And I think there's a lesson there for us all. And I'm just interested to know what Letizia does to cope when the storms come and the difficulties are presented and something happens. How does she she may get knocked off course. We all do, right? How does she get back? Or what does she hold on to stay on course? What does she do to get back to her beliefs and her way of life that she so fundamentally believes in?
Dans la vie, je pense que toutes les personnes ont des périodes qui sont un peu plus difficiles, des périodes un peu plus faciles. Mais c'est un choix à nous, à décider de trouver la force, où on trouve la force. Pour moi, c'est passer du temps dans la nature. Pour moi, c'est prier. C'est passer les très peu de vacances que je peux permettre dans quelques sanctuaires. Et là, je prends toute ma force. Et il m'aide pour toute ma vie. Et je vous l'assure que c'est comme ça. Et si on croit à ça, et on est convaincu à ça, tu as une force exceptionnelle sur la vie. Et tu peux aider les personnes, tu peux passer des moments difficiles, tu peux faire tout, tu peux pardonner, tu peux tout. Et c'est seulement ça, c'est de choisir les choses qu'on veut. C'est pas les grandes vacances, les vacances dans des lieux à la mode. Non, c'est pas ça. On arrive par la force, par là.
Letizia feels that, yes, life, there'll be good things and bad things happening to you. And that's not going to change. But you have a choice. And you always have a choice. And in this difficult situation, she always makes sure she finds a strength from things that are helping her. And for her, it is walking in nature. It is being in nature. It is praying. And also it's traveling to what she calls sanctuaries, places where she can really reflect and spiritual places for her. And she feels that that's very important, is that's where she gets her strength, and she really believes you can overcome anything, you can forgive anything, even the worst thing, if you keep connected to this. And there's an incredible strength there that you can find that can overcome everything. But it's a choice you make, not to go on holidays in a resort, but to places that truly resource you and that truly connects you to what you believe.
So, we've come up here. Julien came back from visiting Letizia a while ago now, probably, 18 months ago, and said, I found a magnificent place. And not only have I found a magnificent place, which is very beautiful, surrounded by mountains, I found a very beautiful and magnificent person. And you have to meet her. And it's taken me a long time to finally get up to meet Letizia. And I came in April, and we've come this week for our first Earthworm gathering. In fact, we've got 10 people here, and as well as Julien and I. People from all around the world, different walks of life, different work, people with NGOs and companies and all sorts of things. But I think they've all been touched by Letizia's presence and her love and her spirituality and her approach. And I'm sitting here thinking of what we're trying to do with Earthworm, and it really is about trying to help people live their life according to the fundamental set of beliefs, what they fundamentally believe. And at TFT we talk about truth, respect, courage, humility and compassion. And we see people like that and we think, well, they're earthworms. And really I'd just like to finish up by saying it's very clear to me, it's very strong, that Julien was very right, that we have a very special person here in Letizia who, if you look up an earthworm in the dictionary, there's a picture of Letizia. So I want to thank her so much for welcoming us this week to her magnificent Agriturismo. We will put the details of the Agriturismo on our website, because we do want to encourage people to come up here and visit the beautiful Cogne region and Grand Paradiso National Park. But better, we want people to come up here and to be enriched by Letizia and the way that she lives her life. So I want to thank her so much for welcoming us here this week. And we look forward to coming up here again and again and again and again.
On arrive à la fin de l'interview, et il y a quelques années maintenant, je suis revenu en Suisse, au bureau du TFT, en disant à Scott, je suis allé à un endroit, j'ai rencontré une personne incroyable. Et il faut absolument que tu viennes la rencontrer. Et il a fallu quelques années. Et Scott est venu et on parlait déjà de faire venir des gens ici. Et cette semaine, on a des personnes d'un peu partout qui sont venues, de différents pays et de différents métiers. Et ils ont tous été touchés par le lieu, mais par ta présence aussi, par ton amour, par ta spiritualité. Et Scott dit que j'avais donc raison et qu'on l'a vraiment senti. Et dans le Earthworm, ce qu'on essaye de créer maintenant, cette communauté Earthworm et ces retraites, on parle de l'importance du respect, de la vérité, du courage, de l'humilité, de la compassion, toutes des choses que tu as exprimées maintenant. Et on est très heureux d'être ici, et notre intention c'est de revenir très souvent, le plus souvent possible ici avec d'autres personnes, et on voudrait te remercier très fort de nous avoir accueillis comme ça et d'être la personne que tu es. Nous aimerions que les gens viennent au-delà de Earthworm, que les gens viennent ici pour être au Grand Paradis à Cogne, et surtout pour te rencontrer et pour être touché par qui tu es, ce que tu fais, comme on est touché nous. Donc on va mettre l'adresse de l'Agriturismo dans notre site, et on espère que beaucoup de gens viendront te visiter la famille. Et dernière chose, donc l'initiative Earthworm, ça veut dire vers de terre. Et on l'a exprimé cette semaine, mais si on cherche le mot vers de terre dans le dictionnaire, probablement qu'on va trouver une photo de toi.
Merci, quel honneur. Merci à tous, merci vraiment de tout mon cœur. Et je suis une petite femme, mais j'ai un beau courage et je vous remercie beaucoup de tout ce que vous faites. Vous êtes des personnes exceptionnelles. Je le pense vraiment. Merci.
Merci to you.
Letizia is saying she thanks us, and she's honored by us coming here. And she says she's a small person, but she likes to show courage and love, and she thinks we're also very good people, and she thanks us for that.
Well, we're very grateful, and so thank you so much, Letizia, and we look forward to working here and visiting you again and again and again.
Encore merci, et on est impatient de revenir ici encore et encore.
Merci à vous.
So here we are with David, Letizia's son, and we just wanted to talk a little bit about the farm. And he's been here this morning milking the cows, looking after the cows, and just to get a sense from David about the philosophy of the farm and what he sees for the future of the farm.
On est là avec toi dans la ferme, et on a parlé hier avec ta maman, et on aimerait comprendre de toi quelle est ta philosophie de l'agriculture et pour la ferme.
Ok, alors pour moi, la chose plus importante dans mon travail, c'est le respect des animaux. Et je pense qu'en faisant cette chose, on respecte aussi l'homme, la santé et toutes les valeurs que nous pouvons penser et accoster aux personnes. Respecter les animaux veut dire, selon moi, chercher de le faire vivre à l'intérieur de la nature, de son habitat, le plus naturellement possible. Je fais un exemple. J'ai des vaches, des petits chèvres, des lapins, des poules, et je cherche de les alimenter, de les faire arriver dans les prés pour manger, et ça, c'est sa nature. J'ai décidé de ne pas les alimenter avec de mangimes ou des choses chimiques, parce que je pense aux animaux, mais aussi à la santé des personnes qui ensuite ils alleront manger et boire le lait et la viande.
The most important thing for him is respect. Respect of the animals, which in turn is respect for people. And for him, respect of the animals is to make sure that the cows and the chickens and all the animals can live in an habitat that's theirs and can eat food that's the natural food for them. So he never gives them
supplementary food or
supplementary food and chemicals and these sort of things that are not natural. So, and for him, that's why then they can produce good milk and healthy milk, and that's good for people. So it goes together. Respecting the animals means then respecting people and their health.
So it seems to me, clearly we've seen the cows coming down from the pasture, and there's a lot of love actually. The cows are very happy, and he has a great relationship with them. And this is different, I think, very different from the other agricultural practices in the region. I mean, how did they come to this as a family? It's clearly a family approach. How do they decide that this is the way they wanted to work with their farm?
Alors, quand j'ai grandi, j'ai suivi surtout mes grands-parents qui avaient les vaches, mais tous les personnes dans le village avaient les vaches, et il y avait un très grand respect pour ces animaux. Il était la vie parce qu'il n'y avait pas d'autre travail. Alors, ils m'ont passé ce respect et la joie de faire ce travail en cette manière ici. C'est vrai que pas les autres, dans les autres formes, ils font pas comme je fais moi, mais il est très fort la méthode qu'ils m'ont enseigné mes parents, mes grands-parents, et je veux continuer avec cette méthode, et je suis sûr qu'il porterait de très bons résultats.
For him, it's coming from his grandparents, and he saw and learned from his grandparents how they were treating the animals. In their time, it was really the norm to respect life and to care for life. And things have changed a little bit, but they really gave that to his mother, to him, and also this approach to the animals. And he believes in that, and he thinks it has a future, and it will pay off in the end.
Yesterday when we talked to Letizia, every response she gave us was the importance of her sons. Her 3 sons. It's very clearly she has great value and love for her sons and the life that they would live, and the freedom that she hoped that they would live their life according to their own values, but she was giving them a platform to live. And when we talked to David the other night, everything he said was about his mother, about how his mother was the guide. And it was quite extraordinary for me to hear how David, when we talked to him on Monday night, was very guided and respectful of his mother. And when Letizia spoke, she was very respectful of her sons. Mm-hmm. And it seems somehow a beautiful relationship. Mm-hmm. And if David can just share with us his inspiration for this work and the sort of things he was telling us the other day about Letizia.
Je pense que c'est très important d'avoir un lien très fort avec toute la famille, parce que dans un travail comme ça, c'est très important une collaboration. Collaboration familiale, un bon rapport. C'est pas toujours facile, mais on doit toujours le chercher. Je fais encore un exemple de mes grands-parents. Quand toutes les personnes avaient les vaches, alors on travaillait tout ensemble. C'était difficile, mais les familles étaient plus unies. Il y avait moins de séparation. Alors, ce travail, selon moi, il aide pour ça. C'est difficile, mais c'est très important pour ça.
He feels, obviously, there's a very strong bond with his mother, but he says relationship with all the family members is very important, and because this is hard work, and it's hard, but it's much easier if everyone sort of help each other through the work. And it used to be like that in the old days, but nowadays it's harder because people are maybe not as close. And so for him, that's what really matters, that the family is there and supportive of that work.
And so, David's a young man. He has his life ahead of him. He has the cows and the farm, and His mum's working in Agriturismo. What does he feel for his future? Is he optimistic? Does he feel that the farm is a path to a good life? And what does he feel when he looks ahead?
Ok. Alors, il y a des fois qu'il c'est un peu plus dur d'être optimiste parce que tu regardes le monde, tu regardes ce qu'il se passe et il y a des choses qui met un peu de tristesse, qui le fait perdre l'optimisme. Mais quand tu regardes à l'intérieur de toi, tu comprends que ce que tu es en train de faire, c'est sur la bonne, c'est juste, et tu dois continuer sur ces pas pour réaliser le rêve que j'ai dit avant d'obtenir une agriculture, une nouvelle manière de vivre plus naturelle et qu'il porte vers des valeurs qu'il y avait une fois et qu'on doit retrouver.
He says, well, when you look at the outside world, sometimes it's quite difficult because there's a lot of difficulties and distractions and things are not very good. But when he looks inside himself, he can recover this belief that he's doing the right thing and he's following what he feels is right, and that in the end that will work, and good things will come out of that. So he hangs on to what's inside of him.
It's very clear from what our discussion the other night when we were talking in the chook pen and the rabbits actually that David is very strongly guided by his inner beliefs, and he holds on to those. And his answer now is just really confirm that. But what does he do to strengthen that? In times of doubt, there must come times of doubt, and there's times when when things are tough and things aren't going as well as they could be, and he gets buffeted by the winds of life. What holds him to those values? What keeps him strong and lets him go forward and in the belief? He clearly has very strong beliefs of what he's doing, but there must be times when that's challenged. What does he do in those times to keep him on his journey?
Alors, quand il y a des périodes de difficulté, je cherche de m'arrêter un moment et de regarder autour de moi. Parce que beaucoup de fois, on vit la vie et on ne se rend pas compte de ce que à l'extérieur de nous. Je fais un exemple. Quand j'amène les vaches dans le pré et j'ai peut-être un moment de difficulté, je m'arrête à regarder le bois, les prés, les fleurs, tout ce qu'il y a à l'extérieur et je remercie pour ça. Alors, j'arrive à trouver des motivations pour continuer sur mes pas. Et ça, je le fais dans l'agriculture avec les vaches, je le fais dans d'autres expériences que j'ai, comme j'aime beaucoup le sport. Alors, c'est peut-être une course, aller faire du ski. Il m'aide à voir plus proche ce qu'il y a à l'extérieur et à le valoriser. Ce que je ne fais pas quand c'est peut-être il y a beaucoup de travail ou la vie, il va trop vite. OK.
In those difficult times, what he does, he stops. He stops and looks around him. And so for example, when he takes the cows in the pasture, if it's a difficult moment for him or things are happening, he will stop and start looking around him and look at the plants, the flowers, the animals, and be thankful and be grateful and thankful for what's around him. And for him, he very much loved to do sport and it's the same thing. He will stop and appreciate everything that's outside of him and that's given. So that's how he gets centered and centered again.
Well, I just want to thank David really for having a chat with us this morning, and we know he's got a lot of work to do, and he's heading off with his cows and the farm, the work on the farm today, and it's really wonderful for us. We can go back to Geneva and we can go and do our thing. And he's here working on the farm, and the winds of the economy buffet him and his work, and he's doing it, and he's connected very much to his values. It's very clear to us. So I really want to thank David for that, for sharing those thoughts with us.
Merci à vous parce que ce que j'ai dit, C'est très important s'il y a des personnes qui l'écoutent et aussi aide les personnes qui le disent à le croire de plus. C'est un merci aussi pour vous, pour ce motif ici. Et ce sont les personnes aussi comme vous qui s'intéressent des valeurs qu'il y a derrière ce genre d'agriculture, qu'ils font continuer et rendre possible encore un avancée de ce méthode de travail.
He's thankful to us because he's thankful that we're taking the time to try and understand what are the values behind this work, and he feels that needs to be shared and understood more. And so the fact that we are here to try and transmit some of that philosophy is really, really important for him.
Very good. Well, thanks, David, and good luck with your work, mate. Thanks. Thanks so much.
Merci beaucoup.
Thanks. Okay.